YouTube, chicks. Get ready. You know what to do, chicks.
I find him. You know, I like Chick Smooth. Chick Smooth is somebody I really enjoy listening to on YouTube because Chick just got an intellectual curiosity about things.
Oh man, grand opening, grand closing, you guys. Pooh Shiesty's lawyer, Brad Cohen, is officially off the case. Now, I'm sure you guys all remember a couple weeks ago, Pooh Shiesty's lawyer, Brad Cohen, after he was denied bail, Pooh Shiesty's lawyer did a press conference where he claimed that Pooh Shiesty was going to Staples not to print out the contract that he was going to forcefully have Gucci Mane sign, but to print out his rap lyrics because he was going to the studio.
About your client, that was part of this filing, and it was purportedly used to a support for the arrest. And so it says, the complaint claims that your client was wearing an ankle monitor because he was serving a sentence, like you mentioned, the prior case, these federal charges, I believe drug and weapons charges, and he was sentenced to home detention. He had to wear an electronic monitoring device. And they say that authorities were able to allegedly use the location data from that device to seemingly track his apparent movements near the crime scene. And I believe they say that the ankle monitor was used to track him and William Sr. to a Staples, and the allegation was there that they went to a Staples early in the day to print off that agreement, to print off the contractual release paperwork that they say they were forcing RD to later sign. And the feds also claim that the surveillance video and the GPS data, they put them there. So talk to me about the ankle monitor.
Sure. First, let me just address the Staples thing. Like, I don't even care if they're at Staples. Like, they're going to a recording studio, and normally my clients usually print off the lyrics for different individuals. If you have 5 individuals that are going to be on one record and they each have a section or a part, they'll usually print those things off. So I really didn't care about the Staples thing.
Listen, man, I know as a lawyer, your job is to say the most ridiculous things to get your clients out of trouble. But even Pooh Shiesty himself, after somebody told him what you said in the press conference, said, bro, get that nigga off my case. I'm trying to come home in 50 days, not in 50 years. Brad Cohen is officially stepping down from Pooh Shiesty's legal team, and here's what he said.
All right, let's talk Pooh Shiesty. Quick update on Pooh Shiesty's case. I am just leaving Tennessee, actually, on a different federal case. I will be withdrawing off the case. No implications of me withdrawing off the case. I still think it's a great case. I think there's a lot of holes in it. I think the government has a lot of explaining to do on the case. But I will be substituting in will be Dan Codgel, who's a fantastic lawyer, and Kent Schaefer, who's also a fantastic lawyer, both from Dallas. I think they're going to do a phenomenal job on the case. I think it's one of those cases where once you start really screwing down on the information, the facts, I think that a lot's going to be coming out that will be beneficial to the defense. I think they're going to do a great job, and I look forward to seeing how the case winds up.
I've got good and bad news. Good news, we got your payment, buddy. Bad news, they gave you life. Sayonara.
Now, keep in mind, Brad Cohen has represented and also gotten people out of prison, people like Kodak Black, Lil Wayne, Chad Johnson, and so many other high-profile celebrities. But for some reason in this case, he's choosing to step down. If you know you got a winnable case against the feds, why would you step down? Why would you not only turn down all that money you're going to make, but also a chance to continue to boost up your profile? Lawyers typically do not back out of cases they can easily win. Now, this is what I'm thinking, you guys. They probably got to discovery and he saw the mountain of evidence against Pooh Shiesty and he politely excused himself. Just 3 weeks ago, this was somebody that was sounding so confident that he knew the feds fucked up in this case, so much so that he led people to believe that this case was over. Pooh Shiesty was going to be coming home.
Everything that was said on the night that it occurred. They were involved the first night, and then nothing happened for 3 months. In addition to that I thought was quite embarrassing was that an FBI agent says they don't have the resources to keep their eye on an individual. This is allegedly an individual that committed a crime that they then didn't watch to see if the guns were present, if the jewelry was present. And what didn't we hear today? What we didn't hear today is there is no contract, this mystery contract. They have no contract. They have no video of this alleged signing of a contract. They have no guns. They have no jewelry. They have none of that physical evidence. What they have is they have allegedly 5 individuals, one of them being a very well-known individual that is allegedly cooperating with the government and making these allegations against my client and many more. I'm going to take like 1 or 2 questions and then we're going to scoop.
You're essentially arguing they've got only a he said kind of case, no evidence.
Correct. Yeah, it's very fair. I think that this is a he said type of a case. I mean, obviously, there's 5 individuals on one side. What we're missing are the other people that were present in the room, right? The owner of the studio who says he didn't hear anything or see anything. The way they leave the studio, where no one is in concert with anybody else, no one's arguing with anyone else. One of the individuals says, "Hey, can I get my watches back?" Like, the story is quite unusual. And I think that the FBI knew that. I think the investigators knew that it was unusual. And I think that's why it took so long to make the arrest.
What is your response to the judge saying that, your client still violated the terms of his ankle monitor location?
Sure. Those are all things that are going to be, flushed out. The fact is that he was allowed to be in certain areas at certain times. That really wasn't an argument for today. I wasn't really even going to make that argument. My main thrust of today was to really push on the evidence and see exactly what they had and when they had. How about this? How about the individual who wrote the complaint, who actually drafted the complaint, who was sitting in the courtroom, who's only been an FBI agent for 4 years, does not take the stand. They put someone else on to say what she wrote in her own complaint when she's sitting in the courtroom. And that's done quite often in gamesmanship, because they don't want to put a rookie on the stand and be measured by our legal team.
How far away is this from trial?
Oh, who knows? We're going to get discovery. We'll take a look at their discovery. They're going to say it's ongoing. I mean, think about it. They had 3 months to get this stuff. They had 3 months to get warrants. They didn't get warrants that night. They didn't get warrants the next night. They didn't get warrants the next month. They didn't get warrants the month after. They waited 3 months to get warrants on whether or not there's guns, whether or not there's jewelry. How about their cell phones? How about the computers? That gives me great pause when I see a case that takes that long to get warrants, if you believe everything that was said on the evening that it occurred.
Hey, listen, I don't fault him either. He's never lost a federal case in his entire professional career, so you gotta wonder what's the reason why he's dropping out. Why take the case or have any interest in defending Pooh Shiesty if you're not going to go all the way with it? Which now means for Pooh Shiesty, the replacement lawyer has to be caught up to speed on everything going on, which sometimes can be a challenge. Brad is also the same lawyer that's representing Ice Spice after she got attacked at McDonald's. And I bet you guys there's absolutely no way he's going to drop out of that easy case. Listen, man, you guys get in the comments below. Let's see how this all plays out for Pooh Shiesty. Why do you guys think Brad Cohen dropped out of the case? Do you guys think he's just too busy, or he just wants to keep his perfect record against the feds? Like this video, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys later, man.